All right, Shalom, Shalom, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to all you Akim out there preaching this truth throughout the four corners of the earth with truth and sincerity in your hearts and for the love of the gospel. All right, it's the brother Shamar Yah from Great Millstone Branch, Gary, Indiana, coming at you with another lesson. All right, hopefully feeding the lambs of the Lord. All right, this lesson is gonna be like I would say like an outro or a part two to the lesson I did before on my page. Is named "Where Shall Wisdom Be Found?" All right, now in that lesson I went into Job the 28th chapter and I basically, broke it down, read it, got precepts on it, and basically the whole lesson was about um, the authenticity of wisdom. All right, the appraisal. When you can get something appraised, you see how much it's worth. All right, you see how much, what's the value of it, and it's not wisdom is not manifest unto every person. That's what makes it so rare. That's what makes it the most valuable thing on earth. All right, because not everyone knows where to get it from or how to attain it. All right, and it can only be given to you by the Lord. Now, we'll go ahead and get that. Uh, I'm doing a video, dude. I'm doing a video right now because this is Job 28, verse 28. It says, "Unto man he said, Behold, the fear of the Lord, it is wisdom. To depart from evil is understanding." All right, so that is wisdom. That is all wisdom, and it's the most valuable thing on earth right now. It will be forever. When you go up to the verse 1 through 11, actually, it gives a whole list of certain different things valuable in a man's life, like silver, gold, iron, brass, darkness, light, water, all right, meat, and then all of these places have a source. All right, all of these places have a source where you can get them from, and you can go and get it yourself. But wisdom is the source comes from the Lord, and the Lord has to look upon you, all right, with the light to give this to you. All right, now this lesson is going to be entitled title of this lesson is going to be the price of wisdom. All right, wisdom comes with a price, and I'm gonna get that price. It's not, you don't have to actually pay money, gold, silver, lucre. You actually have to put effort into wisdom to obtain her. This is the book of Sirach 6, and I started 19. I actually started 18. So I'm gonna get all the way from 18 to 37. And I'm gonna get precepts while I read. This is the book of Sirach 6 and 18. My son, gather wisdom. I'm sorry. My son, gather instruction from thine youth up. So shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age. It says, Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. She is verse 20, she is very pleasant to the unlearned. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. See? He that is unlearned, so he doesn't know the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He doesn't know the statutes, the laws of the commandments. Wisdom is going to be very unpleasant unto him. All right, because that's just how wisdom is. It goes more into it. It says she will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from him ere it be long. All right, that her is wisdom. Okay, and whoever tries to get wisdom, they start reading and try to practice the law, statutes, and commandments. But if they don't believe in what they're doing, all right, and their faith ain't where their heart is or their mind at, all right, or if they eye not be single, all right, they want to dibble dab and everything, but they still trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. He's going to cast wisdom off of her. Because why? Because you can't serve two masters. All right. Verse 22, it says, For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. See, wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. All right, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 1 and like 3. I started 1. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of the heart seek him. So because of what? The ways of the Lord are plain unto the holy. Simplicity of heart. Not making everything too deep, or we're not going too far. Being consumed with all the the dark sayings. Give milk. Okay? And even with the dark sayings, you can still break it down with meat or with milk. Even with the meat of the scriptures, you can break it down with milk. The simplicity of the heart. Yeah, right? Because all the things that are holy are made plain unto the righteous. Verse 2, it says, for he will be found of them that tempt him not. He will be found of them that tempt him not, and showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him. For froward thoughts separate from God, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. See? When you try it, reproved the unwise. All right, we were all unwise at a point in time in our life, but the power of the Lord is knowledge. It reproved us, it corrected us. It says, for unto a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin. All right, so wisdom not gonna be making herself manifest unto everybody, because if you have a malicious soul, if you have evil intent, malice in your heart, intent to do evil, that's the word malice means. All right, if you have the desire for wickedness, wisdom is not going to tarry with you. You're going to cast her off. All right, because why? Wisdom is that mighty stone of trial. Verse 5 is the point. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit. See, that's why it's a stone of trial, because it's discipline. You have to discipline yourself. You have to change your ways. It says, and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh. All right, so if you're thinking about things that's not according to the Lord's understanding, then it's not going to abide. Let me read that over. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit, and remove from thoughts that are without understanding. All right, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh. See, it's purging you. Okay, wisdom purges, because when you are wise, when you try to walk in wisdom, you're attempting to be a man of the Lord. All right, when you've tempted to be in the Lord, walk in the Lord's shoes. All right, this is Sirach 2 and 1. It says, my son, if thou hast come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. How do you serve the Lord? You follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, and that is wisdom. That is obtaining wisdom. So when you do this, you're going to go through temptation, because you're giving yourself over into discipline. All right, it says, set your heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. And part of having discipline is having faith. Make not haste in time of trouble is having faith. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient wilt thou art changed to a lower state. All right. For this is the point, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right. So you are trying to be like gold. It says, whatever. Verse 4 says, whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Why? Because whatever affliction or whatever tribulation is brought upon you, you take it cheerfully, because when you come out of there, you're going to come out fine as gold. You're going to come out shining. All right, it says acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right, let me get a scripture on that. You can get it in the, matter of fact, I'll pull it up. It's 23 and 10. It's the book of Job, 23 and 10. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he have tried me, I shall come forth as gold. All right, because the Lord know the way that you take. That's why He putting His hail upon you. But you have to have it always in the back of your mind. That no, in the front of your mind. I'm sorry. So like in the front of your mind that the Lord is always with me. You have to have that in your mind that the Lord is always with you. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says, "There have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man." All right, that means you're not the first one to go through any temptation upon in the history of the earth. Whatever temptation you're going through, there's another man that went through it before you did. All right, so it's nothing new under the sun. All right, it says, "But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with one." It says, with will with the I'm sorry, I got a tongue tied. It says, "But will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it." So the Lord's gonna, with the temptation that He gives you, He's gonna make a way of escape. All right, He's not gonna put more on you that you can't bear. And with the temptation, He's gonna make a way of escape for you. All right, that you be able to bear it. So you gotta have faith. You gotta believe. You know. All right, going back to the point. I got that point. Like I said, wisdom not manifest unto many. It's gonna come upon you as a mighty stone of trial. You know. And why is that? Because you have to be afflicted in order to be purged. All right. So wisdom is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a little while because you have to learn discipline. All right. Sirach 6:22. That's where I left off. I'm going to go all the way down to the end with this chapter. Verse 23. "Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel, and put thy feet into her fetters, and thy neck into her chain." See, that means become a slave to wisdom. All right, do whatever wisdom tell you to do, you do it to the best of your ability. Then when you mess up, you just get back up, dust yourself off, and keep on going. All right, it says in the book of the book of Psalms, it says, "Just man falleth 7 times, but getteth back up." All right. It says, verse 25, "Bow down thine shoulder and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds." All right. It says, "Come unto her with thine whole heart, and keep her ways in all thine power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known of thee. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go." See, let her not go. Once you know get to a point where you're able to start teaching others wisdom, and you're to a point where you're aged. All right, because it's imperative that you become aged in wisdom. All right, because it says what? Search and seek, and she shall make known unto thee. She shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. All right, that's another. It's a precept to that. I'm not gonna. I might pull it up. It's in 30. What is scripture? Yep, 34. Sirach 34. 9. Sirach 34 and 8. The point is at 9, 10, and 11. Sirach 34 and 8. The law shall be. It says the law shall be found perfect without lies, and wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth. All right, and it's going to perfect you, but you need time to go through these afflictions. It says, "A man that hath traveled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom." All right, so a man that hath traveled knoweth many things. So if you traveling and walking in wisdom for a long time, you're gonna know many things. All right, that's why you're known as an elder when you stay in this truth for 10 years plus. Because when you're in this truth, you read when you put on these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're being reborn. All right, so when you're 10 years old in the ways of walking in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you become 10 years old in literal real life. So you're 10 years old, so you're on your way to becoming a man. That's why you're known as an elder, all right, or up and coming elder. It says, a man that traveleth knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. He that hath no experience knoweth little, but he that hath traveled is full of prudence. See, a man that have no experience knoweth very little. That's why you need to go through that furnace. That's why it's going to be a mighty stone of trial until you get a man of age. It says, when I traveled, I saw many things, and I understood more than I can express. I was oftentimes in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things. All right, because wisdom going to kick in. All right, then you're going to think of certain scriptures, and it's going to come. It's going to come almost on instinct because of repetition. All right, because you've been doing it for so many years, it's going to come like second nature. All right, it says the spirit. It says the spirit of those that fear the Lord shall live, for their hope is in Him that saveth them. Whosoever shall fear the Lord shall not fear nor be afraid, for He is his hope. All right, I hit the nail on the head with that one. Let me go back to Sirach 6. When I leave off 26. Yeah, I left off at 28. It says, For at the last thou shalt find her, and I get tongue tied. It says, For at the last thou shalt find her rest, and that shall be turned to thine joy. All right. It says, Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. See, it says, I've what I just read in the last chapter. It said, For when I travel, I saw many things, and I understood more than I can express. It says, and oftentimes in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things. See, after a while, those hard trials that you went through, all right, because you didn't cast her off, those fetters of iron, what seemed difficult at first became your defense. All right, now now you're fully assured. Yeah, it was 29. It says, then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. It says, for there be a golden ornament upon her. And it says, and her bands are purple lace, so they're royal. It says, thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of glory. Now, when you put on righteousness, it said, put her on like a robe of glory. Now, when you you know what? I was gonna find a precept for that, but basically, when you adopt these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're basically wearing righteousness. But that's why it likens the truth like into garments. All right, the truth is likened into garments in a robe. Okay, it's a scripture that said that Job said it actually. He said, I should put on righteousness. Here it is, 29 and 14. Back at Job. And 14. It says, I will put on righteousness, and it clotheth me. My judgment was as a robe and a diadem. I actually gotta look that up, bro. I gotta look that up. What does that mean? Was that Job 29:14? It means a headdress. I thought so, a turban. All right. So it's like a crown. Okay. Back to the point. Back to the list. Where did I stop? For 31. It says, "Thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and thou shalt put her on like a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of joy. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught, and if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding, and if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto him that is wise." All right, because when you're around, there's a saying in the world: you are who your company. You are a product of your company. A man is what he you are what a man is judged by the company he keeps. That's what the saying is. The saying is a man is judged by the company he keeps. All right, so if you keep the right company, then you're gonna be judged correctly. And what a man of righteousness is supposed to be around other men of righteousness, because it says, "Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise." All right, be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of the understanding escape thee. All right, because in the midst of the elders they speak wisdom that you not privy to, because you're young, because you're a babe, because you're still learning. You want to be, if you're learning, you always want to be around a higher up, or someone above you in knowledge, so you can learn from them. You can learn their mistakes. All right, because they've been walking longer than you, and you don't have to make the same mistakes that they made. All right, you can learn from their mistakes. It says, "And if thou see a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thine foot wear out the steps of his door." All right, that means always be around him, always inquiring of him. "Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments. And he shall establish thine heart, and give thee wisdom in thine own desires." All right, it's another scripture talking about there's another one talking about constantly be around a man of the Lord. Hopefully I can get it real quick. Nine and 14. All right, this is Sirach 9 and 14. "As near as thou canst, guess at thy neighbor, and consult with the wise. Let thine talk be with the wise, and all thy communication in the law of the Most High." See, that all thy communication be talk with the talk of the wise. All right. Yeah, that was it to that. But there's the point. All right, verse 15. "Let thine talk be with the wise, and all thine communication in the law of the Most High." See, let thine speech be in the wise. All right, constantly being around people that's like-minded, like you. All right. Yeah. But that was everything that I had. Okay, yeah. That was everything that I had. I just wanted to get that. What's the price of wisdom? All right, now hopefully I hit the nail on the head, because the price of wisdom is uh, tribulation. When you seek the Lord, you're gonna go through tribulation. That's the price you have to pay to get wisdom. But once you get it, you're gonna be a friend of the Lord. All right. And with that being said, let me actually get one more. 12 and 8. Sirach chapter 12, verse 8. "A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hid in adversity. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. But in the adversity, even a friend will depart." All right. So that if you're a friend of the Most High, You're gonna learn his ways. All right, when things get messy, if depending on only the elect, but depending on the type of man you are, the Lord, you want to be a friend of the Lord, basically. You want to be a friend of the Lord. That means staying in the walk, even though things get hard. Because what a friend cannot be known in prosperity. So the Lord got to put you through affliction when you're going through this walk to see if you're really for Him. It says an enemy cannot be hid in adversity. So the point is, stay in the Word. All right, stay in wisdom. Perform the law. All right, and even when things get hard, still perform the law, because that's just the mighty stone of trial that wisdom is trying to teach you discipline. All right, now I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect of Israel. Until next time, I say shalom.